welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Time now for the Class B Girls State Championship showdown between the Waverly Vikings and the Lincoln Pius X Thunderbolts. I want to remind you, if you'd like a DVD of these Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships, you can get that by logging on to NHSBF.com. Follow the prompts and order your DVD. It's a memory that you want to have for a lifetime. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams, the Vikings of Waverly, the Thunderbolts from Lincoln Pius X. Pius X, coached by Tyler Putney in his fourth year as the head coach. Brooke Putney, the only senior on this team. Jess Lears is a junior. Kelly Mahacek, a sophomore. Megan Straub, an outstanding freshman for this Bolts team. Kaylee Peterson and Katie Peterson, also members of this squad. Now let's take a look at Waverly. The Vikings led by Tracy Donovan. Brooke Oxner is a freshman and a good one. Lizzie Donovan, a junior. Olivia Woolburn is a sophomore. Paige Hickey, a senior. Freshman Peyton Johnson. Sarah Campbell, a senior. And Tristan Menser is a sophomore. Should be a good one coming up. A Class B state championship showdown between the Lincoln Pius X Thunderbolts and the Waverly Vikings. Both of these squads, first time in the arena finals. Both of these teams looking for state championships. We'll have all the action when we come back on NET Sports.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
America's export of soybeans helps the U.S. maintain a positive agricultural trade balance. Nebraska contributes half of its soybeans for export. The protein and oil content in soybeans enhance the growing demand for higher protein diets. The Nebraska Soybean Board promotes research to develop new soybean varieties with higher protein and oil content for major agricultural markets. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We'd like to say we have the good life in our state, and for more than 40 years, Nebraska Public Power District has kept the good life running smoothly for Nebraskans. We are driven to go above and beyond with a spirit to provide reliable, affordable electricity with outstanding customer service each and every day. Because in the end, we want to make the good life better for all. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Hello, I'm Jeff Beckman. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank thousands of Nebraskans who have contributed generously to our Inspire Nebraska campaign in recent years. Through your support, you show how much you value educational programming and embrace the rich history and culture of Nebraska. Thank you.
They're in our world, but they're not part of our world.
We haven't bought into American consumerism.
I think if we want to be a Christian and live a godly life, we have to be submissive.
Obedience is not easy.
The Amish on American Experience.
Tuesday night at 7 Central Time on NET1.
So welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Class B state championship. The Pius X Thunderbolts taking on the Waverly Vikings. Should be a good one here at Class B. Both teams just finishing up practice, getting ready for competition. I want to remind you sports fans, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other network. For more information on dates, times, DVD sales, and available webcasts, you can log on to netnebraska.org/sports. Well, another perennial power here in Class B. The Lincoln Pius Thunderbolts have never won a state championship. In fact, both of these teams making their first ever trip into the arena finals.
Interesting, because both teams are so strong in Class B. I mean, they rocket through the regular season in districts and get to state, and you know, it's just a testament of how weird things can happen when you get to state. So, but this will be tremendous bowling, folks. You are in for a treat with these two teams.
Here's a look right away at Megan Straub. You see how solid that game is of Straub's. That wrist finishing high, elbow in tight. She leaves the 2-5. Up on the right lane, here's Olivia Woolburn. Woolburn, one of the motivators of this Waverly team. Now Straub on the spare. Good cover. So the Pius 10th Thunderbolts out to a good start. And now to answer, Olivia Woolburn on the right-hand lane. Woolburn, a sophomore, averages 169 on the year. That's the high average on the team for Waverly, and she covers the spare. Here's Jessica Lears. Jess has battled a lot of knee problems. You see the knee brace on that left knee. Pops in and out occasionally. Needs to climb, it does, and the messenger does not quite deliver on the 10-pin.
Well, another great shot right in the pocket. Freshly conditioned lanes here at Sun Valley Lanes, so we'll see a little bit of transition.
Paige Hinkey, can she get the carry? No, comes in light, and she leaves a 7-pin.
Lanes were just run right before we started this match, so we'll see some very, very sharp back end reaction, and then we'll see some transition, especially if this match goes further than 3 games. Oh my, 9.5.
She shook it. Yeah.
9.5.
Yeah. Well, she shook it, so an opportunity here early for Waverly to take a lead. Hinkey, good high follow through, a nice cover.
We saw earlier today in our earlier Class C and D matches how spare shooting is such a premium and how you need those spares so bad to keep your team in the game.
So up on the left lane, here's Brooke Putney.
Who?
Only senior on this squad, averages 181. Comes in high, will she get the carry? Can't quite get the 5-pin out.
You realize the long list of emails and tweets from Twitter that I have that we're supposed to zing you about with your son being the head coach and your daughter bowling? There's too many to get onto the broadcast, so we're going to do the television public, viewing public a favor. Lay off you.
Lizzie Donovan goes a bit high. She leaves the 6-pin.
As I said earlier, Larry, the lanes are freshly conditioned, so the back ends are at their absolute cleanest. Now, as these girls continue to bowl, they will drag that conditioner. The ball almost acts as a towel in a way. It'll drag the oil down the lane. It'd be similar to when you get out of the shower and your towel's wet, you drag it across the tile floor, you see streaks. That's what happens with a bowling lane as the conditioner goes down the lane. Now, it takes a half a game or so to get that to happen, but it's going to be the team that adjusts. All these girls throwing reactive equipment, all of them are right-handers.
And a good cover by Donovan.
All playing in about the same place on the lane, so you're going to see some what we call transition, some change of lane conditions as we go further along here in this match.
Here's Kaylee Peterson. Kaylee, a junior, averages 188. High game of 279. A great shot, but can't get the 10 to fall. Kaylee put it right in the pocket. Now up on the right-hand lane, Sarah Campbell. Two seniors and a junior that had never bowled before stepping on campus at Waverly High School. And ooh, that is a solid 8-pin. What a great shot by Campbell.
The true and only tap in bowling is the solid 8. The ball drives, hits the pocket perfectly, but the ball with its drive takes the 5-pin straight back instead of sending the 5 into the 8. But, you know, you pull up your pants and say, pick up the spare.
Cross lane at the 10-pin and got it.
Made a nice ball change there to a ball that skids. Goes straight at it. We talked before about how some people flatten out the ball or throw it harder at their corner pins. Changing to a harder surface ball, which creates more skid, is another good option.
So Campbell now to keep the lead.
Straight down the lane at the 9.
Great cover. Nice, solid spare shooting early on by this Waverly squad. Now up in the left-hand lane, here's Kelly Mahacek. Mahacek needs to roll, get up, and she slaps the 10 out. Big shot by Mahacek, the anchor bowler for the Thunderbolts. So now up on the right-hand lane, the lefty, Peyton Johnson.
do have a lefty, Larry.
And Peyton puts one in there as well. So a terrific shot. And the Vikings through 5 are clean and have a 10-pin advantage. So these two teams switch sides at the halfway point. You see 77-67, Pius trailing Waverly through 5. Both teams with the strike working.
It is packed in here, Larry. We've got just as many folks here from Waverly as we do from Pius. Great bowling going on here right now. This is as good as you're going to see in high school bowling for girls in Nebraska this match, and then of course following up a Class A.
Buried in the hole. Megan Straub makes it a double for the Bolts. Of course, many of you might recognize the name Straub. She is the daughter of Bill Straub, Nebraska women's bowling coach. Comes in a bit light, but good break to trip out that 10-pin.
And we wouldn't be doing the Straub family any justice to say that she's also the daughter of the better looking of the two parental units. The daughter of, her mom is Kim Berkey. Her mom and dad were Gary and Gail Berkey from Beatrice, owned Tonka Lanes in Beatrice for a long time, still do as a matter of fact. Kim and Bill got married. Kim, former women's professional bowler on tour, probably still has a lot of records in the state of Nebraska with the bowling achievements. Kim is out there somewhere in the crowd rooting her on, and just a great gal. Bill and Kim just are, and you know what the nice thing is that they want her to do whatever she wants to do. If she wants to bowl, that's great. If she wants to go off and do something else in school, that's great too. And she's having fun bowling high school bowling.
So through 5 now, thanks to the double, a 1-pin advantage for the Bolts. I'm sorry, for Waverly. 97-96, tugged a little bit, and a miss spare. So that opens the door for Waverly here in the 7th to take a 10-pin advantage.
Strike here with a crease.
Paige Hankey coming up a bit light and leaving the 2-4-5. Pius comes in 11-0 on the season. They have been unbeaten, not beaten in head-to-head competition in 4 years, but their first ever trip to the finals. Putney solid in the pocket. Great shot. Needed spare by Waverly, and they got it. So a 10-pin advantage to Waverly, and they are still clean through 7. Very solid spare shooting team. Kaylee Peterson trying to double. That needs to climb. It does a little bit, and she got it. Kicked that 7 right off the back of the lane, and a double for Pius. Big as they head to the 10th.
Smooth, slow pace. Not a lot of ball speed, but it gives that ball a chance to come through the oil and hook in the pocket. It was a great shot. Another good shot there. Just slid by.
Lizzie Donovan with that shot. Another 2-4-5.
Just got to the line a little quick. Looks like she might have got there out of time, we call it, a little fast. Stuck maybe just a tad because she was just going too quick. Didn't catch the ball correctly and caused it to squeeze by the pocket. Leaves a 2-4-5. Lots of ways to make and miss this.
Donovan needs the hook, and it doesn't. So she'll pick the 5-pin off of the 2-4, and that would open the door now for Pius. And now the Bolts have regained the lead thanks to that double in the 8th and 9th frame.
Potential 214 for Lincoln Pius. Right now Waverly bowling at about a 179 pace. Needs a strike.
Good shot. Wood still rolling around down there, but it won't kick the 2-pin out. So Sarah Campbell will have that left.
Sarah's going to need this spare, Larry, and they're going to need at least 1 strike, if not 2 in the 10th, and they're going to need a little help from Pius. Pius will have to open in the 10th to give Waverly a chance to win game 1.
So an important shot here for Sarah Campbell.
Cross lane at the...
Just hit by. So back-to-back opens by the Vikings. Has really opened the door here for Kelly Mahacek. Mahacek averages 190 on the year, just a sophomore. You can see the great form there, and she buries the strike. So Mahacek with the big shot. And that will about wrap it up in game one for Pius.
That will wrap it up, Larry. The best Waverly can shoot is 178, even with a double.
Through the nose for the split.
Pius will be close to 200 here, depending upon what Kelly does here. That's another great shot. Just a little slower than the last shot. Shoot 203 with a spare.
So the Bolts out of the barn quickly with a 2+, and they will take game number one. So Pius 10th has a 1-0 advantage in this best-of-5 Baker showdown. So with the spare, it would be a 203 for Pius. Slides by it, so a 202. Not a bad start for the Thunderbolts. 202, 156. Pius knocks off Waverly. Love the way Waverly started out, converting spares, putting pressure on the Thunderbolts. Hey, let's take a look at the individual standings, which were contested yesterday, and you'll see that the overall state individual champion was Kelly Mahacek. Brooke Putney finished second with a 5:42. She was the state runner-up. Also, Megan Straub of Pius, who we see here, was in the top 5. So there is a look at the top 10 bowlers in the state in terms of the singles standings. Started off, needs to climb a little bit. That time it did not get the 10 out. So Olivia Woolburn will have some work to do. Here's Megan Straub. She dropped it a little bit. Will she get a good reaction? No. Just kind of let it go a little too soon.
Oil has already transitioned down the lane a little bit, Larry, as you notice that crisp back end finish, that snap at the back end has already tamed a little bit. With Lizzie's washout there, it was evident as that ball did not come out of its skid and go into a hook and roll. So now we'll see, we've seen plenty of matches that have, the complexity has changed simply because of the changing lane conditions. Right. Good spare there by Megan. She went straight right at it.
So here's Paige Hinkey.
Kind of hung in that shot a little bit, just a touch, and that caused that ball to go high. You saw the ball come off her hand and just hung for a split second there, enough to pull that ball left to target.
Jess Lears on the right-hand lane. Good shot last time up, just came a little too high, much better, and buries it. So Lears with a nice shot. And a good cover.
This Putney girl again. She actually throws the ball pretty good. She's beat the odds when it comes to some of the potential lineage issues when it comes to athleticism. Only met your wife one time. I suppose she probably takes after her. So, of course, just kind of muscled it a little bit there.
So now Donovan on the left-hand lane needs to get things going again for Waverly. And slaps that 4-pin out. Good shot by Lizzie Donovan, coach's daughter.
I think some of the girls now are seeing that a few of their teammates, their initial shots came up light in the pocket, and that has caused them to try to tug the ball or point it up to the pocket just a little bit more than they should. Cross lane with a different ball to spare. Very good.
Good solid conversion for Brooke, and that'll bring up Kaylee Peterson for the Bolts. First up on the left lane, Sarah Campbell.
Let's see if Sarah can determine whether or not she needs to make a little bit of an adjustment to get more hook. She's way in the center of the lane, Larry, and that's where the oil is the heaviest. When that ball in practice, I'm sure that ball was striking. Now, both teams had about 10 minutes of practice prior to us starting the telecast. So there's been, now about a half an hour's worth of bowling on this pair of lanes. So I'm sure the oil down in that hook area is going to change the scope of things a little bit.
See it there as well. Just skidded a little bit longer than Peterson expected.
The typical adjustment off that is to move your feet to your starting point on the lane and your eyes just a little bit to the right to get back out towards a little bit closer to the right side, the edge of the lane where there's a little less oil, more drier boards to get that ball to hook up a little more. And we've seen this now. This is match number 3. We've seen this where we've seen teams go into games 2 and games 3 and begin to struggle a little bit as they learn how to compensate for these lane adjustments.
So Peterson to pick up the 2-8. We should get them both. Did. Got it the tough way, but took out the 2-8.
Just a great arm swing. Nice smooth pace. And here's our lefty. And the lefty might have a little bit of an advantage. If Waverly can stretch this out to go to 5 games, sometimes that's an advantage. The left-hander by herself on her side of the lane, that's Peyton Johnson. And if she can stay in that area and create some opportunities, throw some strikes, she could be the wild card to keep Waverly in the match. What a great long arm swing. Just good rolling ball, good pace. She's right in that around the 8, 9, 10 board area. Just a good fundamental game. Cross lane at the 4 and the 7.
Good cover. So an important and good covers. Now they will switch sides with Pius on top by 33 through the first 5 frames and on top 1 game to none over Waverly in this Class B state championship. Now up on the left-hand lane will be Straub. And we talked about mom and dad, both professional bowlers. Both of them were on TV as well.
Yes.
Both mom and dad competed on TV 4 titles. Dad in Ebonite Open back, I think, in 82, or it was 82.
Yeah, Bill was on television several times, a couple times in the King Louis Open in Kansas City. Also, people remember harking back to the days if you were a big PBA junkie like I was in the 70s and 80s growing up as a kid. Mark Roth picked up the 7-10 split at King Louis Open against Bill Straub. Yep. Remember that very well. That was one of Bill's first appearances on TV. Bill made a few appearances in St. Louis at the Rolaids Open, and was just, one of Nebraska's best bowling prospects.
Yep. So a bit high there on the shot by Lears, but the double by Pius has given them 106 through 5 and now lead by 32. So an important spare conversion here by Olivia Woolburn. And Woolburn needs that to skid, and it does. So a good cover by the Waverly cheerleader and bowler. And now here's Lears on the left-hand lane. And a good cover. So a nice comeback by Jess, who had opened twice in game number 1, both single pin misses, to calm down the nerves, come back and pick up a couple of spares.
All very low maintenance games. By low maintenance, you mean not a lot of hook, just a good compact speed. You start getting your miles per hour up there. You begin to try to take your thumb out of the ball and do some cutting edge things. You feast and famine. We've already commented on that today, that you can win and die by that sword. And just low maintenance game. Very, very good arm swing there by Brooke. Just a great shot.
Rings the 10 pin. And now we'll try to stay clean as that gets just a bit wide. Picks 2 off of the 3.
Waverly's digging themselves a hole here. If you look at the Pius line score, no open frames, all spares and strikes. Waverly with 3 open frames now, and they just have to play good defense. And that means pick those spares up just like that.
Good solid cover by the only senior on this Pius 10th club. It's going to be a good program for a while, as Another freshman coming in next year will provide some outstanding punch. They've got a freshman bowling this year on JV who will certainly step in and fill those shoes.
Well, Larry, the Catholic school parochial bowling league has been a great feeder here in Lincoln from all the different parochial schools into high school bowling. The Nebraska Middle School Bowling Federation, which is kids from all schools, continues to feed into high school bowling. As a matter of fact, as we're taping this now, there's a tournament going on at this time over across town at Hollywood Bowl with about 80 to 100 kids, all middle school kids bowling in grades 6, 7, and 8. And it's just a great feeder program.
And a good cover by Donovan. So Lizzie picks it up. Lizzie, another one of the leaders on this Waverly squad. Lizzie knows a lot of these girls that she's bowling against. Of course, they bowl together throughout the year, but Lizzie attended their camp in the off season and really showed terrific potential and has really improved her game. And a good cover by Kaylee Peterson.
Well, max score for Waverly right now is 180, where Pius is going to most likely be over 200 again. So I was just about to say that Waverly needed a strike there to really have a chance, but looks like Waverly will be in the 150s with a spare here in the 9th and a mark in the 10th.
And that's our first look, by the way, at Brooke Oxner. Oxner, a freshman for Waverly, getting a chance here.
Nice long arm swing. Very, very good
solid,
finishing position, you bet.
Just slid off, but a nice game for that youngster. So now with the spare working in the 9th. Here's Kelly Mahacek. Mahacek has struck in 2 of her 3 shots and does again. So Mahacek on fire. She's got 3 strikes in 4 balls.
Pius out fast with a 2-0 lead here. Another substitution for Waverly.
And rattles that around. I think that's Tristan Menser.
Watch Kelly here as she keeps her hand under the ball. Elbow behind, straight long arm swing. Great balance at the foul line. That's another thing that's been lost a little bit as we've made a change to a more just a more cutting edge game where you're really trying to hook the ball so hard you lose that balance at the foul line. And unless you're a very special bowler and can really repeat shots, you still need to be in balance at the foul line.
So Waverly, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Larry. I was just going to say that this is for everybody watching at home. If you want to teach your kids how to bowl, they need to look like this team right here.
So a good cover by Kelly Mahacek. And the Bolts put up a 202 and 204 in the first 2 games here in this Class B state championship. Waverly finish up with Tristan Menser and a 144 for Waverly. So the Bolts out quick and take a 2-0 advantage. And if you're Waverly, it's really about staying clean, putting pressure on Pius.
We've already seen one team come back today from being down 2. The Dodge Lady Pirates came back from being down 0-2 and won the state championship. So never too late.
Yep. I want to remind everybody you can log on to facebook.com/NET Sports, become a fan, leave questions, comments, check out what's going on behind the scenes at NET Sports and get the latest on all of our state championships. Become a fan. It's fast, fun, and easier than ever to be part of the only statewide sports network, facebook.com/NET Sports. Beginning of game 3, Pius on top 2-0. Megan Straub will start it off and leaves a 2-4-10.
Saw that ball come off her hand just a little early. Delayed the hook just enough to miss the head pin to the right.
That'll get in there and
great shot.
Nearly carries. Good shot by Paige Hinkey. Hinkey leaves the 10. Straub on the 2.
Going for the 2 pins, saving count. No need to try to get cute right now. Up 2-0, first frame. Keep things things in perspective. Cross lane at the 10, very well done. Move your body all the way to the left to go cross lane to cut down on that angle.
Waverly knocked off Hastings 3-2 in an exciting match to get here to this state championship. Earlier then defeated Norfolk Catholic also 3-2. So Waverly understands what it's like to go deep in these matches 3-2, have it all on the line in the last game and still come out and perform. Waverly's won 2 3-2 matches.
They've had a good program too, and just gotta take baby steps to get there. You've got to learn to win, and you got to get to the TV show and make the state finals. There's a good shot, boy.
Great ball by Campbell, yeah.
They've had some pocket hits, but they just haven't been able to carry. But this is where you use your experience and your good bowlers need to know that, hey, breaks are a part of bowling. You need to pick up that 10 pin or pick up that 7 pin and move on. No need to get tremendously frustrated over leaving a solid 10. They're frustrating. That's the way it goes. Got to pick up your spare.
So here's Campbell on the right-hand lane.
Cross lane at the 10. Well done again.
Covered it up.
Exhale there.
Waverly on the season was 6-5 in match play. Averaged .844 on the season. So a nice solid season for the Lady Vikings. And a good solid cover by the senior from Pius, Brooke Putney.
100% of her spares. There's no need for you to ground her when she gets home tonight, Larry.
That's right.
Now it's time for Waverly to put a couple strikes on the board here. Right in the track area of the lane.
Donovan gets the trip, gets the 4-pin to go, so a big shot.
Sometimes that provides the spark you need, is to catch a break like that.
So Waverly on top here, just as they were in game number 1. Staying clean early on. The last 2 shots of Kaylee Peterson's have come up light. Let's see if she makes the adjustment here. Moved outside a little further. She did, and can't get the 10.
Good shot. Just ball came in so hard at the back end. The 3 did not have enough impotence to carry the 6 into the 10.
See light once again, and I think it's a second washout and third time she's nearly had a washout for Olivia Wilburn.
Olivia's going to have to make a big move on the lane. Coach is instructing her now on making a move to the right to cut down the angle. Cross lane at the 10. Great shot.
That's a good cover by Kaylee Peterson. Important spare here by Olivia to hold on to that lead.
Well, at this point, down 2-0, you've got to try for it. Going to have to move that head pin into the 10. That was a great shot.
Yep, terrific shot by Wilburn. So here's Kelly Mahacek. Mahacek with 3 strikes already today, 2 spares. Needs to roll up, it does, and can't get the messenger. Now the lefty on the left-hand lane. Here's Peyton Johnson. Peyton, just a freshman. And did she get it? Can't quite get the ball pin to fall. Sent everything at that 10 pin and couldn't get it to go. Peyton says one of the strengths of her game is her mental game. Boy, you have to have a tough mental game in situations like this.
Big smile on her face, even though it was a tough break. Pius just methodically going through and continuing to pick up spares and move their way closer and closer to their first state championship as girls.
And there's the score, all even through 4. And so to keep it even, Peyton Johnson needs to convert here. He's going to have to hook a lot.
Puts Pius in the lead now, Larry.
So a 10-pin advantage as the 2 teams will switch sides. Talk about the job that both Tyler Putney and Rod Mahacek have done with this team, the two coaches for the girls. Just an outstanding job of working with these girls throughout the season. Fundamentals, really drilling fundamentals, drilling the importance of picking up spares. And you look at where this program was 5-6 years ago when he took over. And now a perennial power, 4 consecutive years unbeaten for Pius in district play.
It's been a while since I've dug out my old bowling tapes, but Megan Straub's game is very, very similar to her mom, Kim's game. Very good fundamentals.
A little high and trips that 10 out of there.
Kim had a long arm swing. Of course, Kim was taught by Bill Straub at the University of Nebraska. Watch that arm go straight up, straight forward.
And a good cover by Straub.
Use that elbow as a pointing device. You want that elbow in your rack swing to be pointing straight back. When you release the ball, you want that elbow to be pointing straight down. Keep your hand behind the ball.
So here's Jessica Lears, a junior. One of 2 juniors on the team. She and Kaylee Peterson. It's going to need to react. It does, and 6. And Lears with her 2nd strike of the match. That extends that Pius lead to 21. So now an important shot on the left lane for Sarah Campbell. Keep Waverly in it. Just a little high. So on the right-hand lane now, it'll be Brooke Putney bowling. Brooke, as we said, a senior. Would like to head next year and bowl at Newman University in Wichita, Kansas.
Hopefully very expensive for the Putney family to pay for.
Well, Billy Murphy will help offset that with the scholarships. Fell off that shot and tugged it, and that first errant shot didn't really stay in the shot.
Just looked like she got a little fast with her feet there. A little fast, but I think they're beginning to relax a little bit. Going to need to get 2, though, to keep the count as Pius is working on a strike. Got to have this spare here for Waverly. Sarah Campbell really needs to pick this up.
2, got it. So a good conversion. And a chance to now cut that lead. And I'm sure Tyler just walked up and said 2 is 4 in this situation.
That's right.
2 pins equals 4 because she's on the strike. Important to get the 2. Not necessarily important with a lead to pick it up.
Cross lane, getting the 2, just like that.
So a great decision there. And a chance now for the Vikings to cut into that lead. 134 in the 8 for Pius.
Strike here, Larry, would cut the lead to 19. Oh, looks like she lost that one off her hand.
Got a break. It goes Brooklyn. And Lizzie Donovan with her 3rd strike of the match.
She actually seemed startled when she let go of the ball that it came off her hand so quick, but it was in the correct spot. Pius just needs to really work on staying clean.
Yep. An opportunity, though, here for Waverly with 2 more strikes to take the lead and control their own destiny in this game.
Need a double no matter what, somewhere in the 9th and 10th. Great shot.
Buried by Kaylee Peterson.
Possible 194 for Pius, while Waverly working at about a 185 clip or pace. That's strike spare.
Get up.
She just, ever since the first part of the 2nd game, Larry, she's lost her back end on her ball. Just, needs to make that adjustment. And this is the first of our 3rd match here on our Girls' Day here today. This is our 3rd match now, and we've seen it all the way through where the lanes have changed. But with 10 players on the lanes, throwing different equipment, has dirtied up or muddied up that hook area a little faster than what we saw earlier today. Yep. So it is a very technical game anymore. You've got to just have the right shot in your bag at all times. That means changing balls or changing lines.
So here's Kelly Mahacek. Mahacek comes in a bit light. She's from a nice bowling lineage as well. Her father Rod Mahacek, one of the assistant coaches for Pius, both on the boys and girls side, and a member of the Lincoln Bowling Hall of Fame.
Rod is back there.
Just tugged a little bit. Yep.
You bet.
And that should just about do it.
Best score for Waverly now, 161 with a spare and a strike. Where right now, 1 or 2 pins is actually 1 pin here is going to be enough to wrap it up, Larry. And that's the state championship right there.
So great coverage by Mahacek, and that will do it.
Well, I know it's no fun to finish second in anything.
That's true.
But the Waverly girls to make it to the television finals, you know, it's just a continuation of how their program continues to grow. And you know, it's always a plus. You know, nobody likes to not win, but they bowled well all week. They were second in the conference in the regular season. This young lady has a great game.
And the 9 there, and so Waverly will finish with a 160, the highest of its 3 games. And Pius right now already with 164. This to tag on for Mahacek, and she finishes solid and can't quite get the 10 out, but that's enough for a state championship for the Thunderbolts. So congratulations on both sides, and the Thunderbolts take home their first ever state championship on the girls' side. 173-160 in the final. Pius wins it 3 games to none. When we come back, we'll hear from the state champs, have the trophy presentations for both the runner-up and your champions. Pius, the winners in Class B.
What inspired me to pursue a career in technology was the fact that I have kids. We need the internet. They wouldn't be able to do any of their research without it. It's really important for our children to think science and technology is important. I believe that all kids should look towards technology because that's where the world is going. Get involved in all of the science activities because all of that experience can lead you a long way.
To find out what you can do to inspire a young person, visit connectamillionminds.com.
I'm Fred Knapp from NET News. I'd like to invite you to go online with NET News for our one-on-one discussions with Nebraska policymakers each week on Capital Conversations. We'll explore issues important to Nebraskans and get to know the state's decision makers. Watch online, netnebraska.org/Capital Conversations or on Facebook at NET News Nebraska.
I'm Steve Keene from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I support NET because it provides programming, talks about local people and local places in Nebraska, and shows me the importance of the things that are done in the state.
NET tells Nebraska stories, and your support makes that possible. Thank you.
The fabric of democracy, I think, really has worn very thin.
The opposite of poverty is not wealth. The opposite of poverty is justice.
Americans have to fight for the American dream.
Democracy is not what governments do, it's what people do.
This is how we fight back.
Bill is back. Moyers and Company.
Saturday night at 6 Central on NET2 World.
And welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes. It's Steve Simpek with a couple of champions. Let's go down to Steve.
A couple of champions, all with the last name of Putney. I'm surrounded by Putneys here at Sun Valley Lanes. Got Brooke Putney, the senior, the lone senior in the team. What do you think the future of the team is with all these youngsters? You know, we got some freshmen there that are great bowlers. So, what's your advice to them as they move on here besides throw lots of strikes?
Just to stay positive, and I know they can do it again and again.
Well, that's great. All right, and your dad said he taught you everything you know about coaching. Is that really true?
Absolutely everything. You know him, right? He's not going to tell you anything that's not true.
That's true. That's right. Your dad's the farthest thing from a liar. You betcha. Well, this was just a great exhibition of bowling. Both teams, you've got all sorts of youngsters on the team. Both squads have a bunch of young bowlers, but it was great. What are you going to say to the boys back at school now since the girls have a state title?
Well, we're right up there with them, so we're even match.
Take them on in a challenge match here to see.
Every practice.
All right, well, congratulations to Lincoln Pius X. Thunderbolts, your state champions for girls Class B. Larry, congratulations, Dad.
Yeah, how about that? All right, thanks, Steve. Congratulations to the Pius X Thunderbolts state champs. Now, for the trophy presentation, we'll begin with the runner-up Waverly Vikings. Let's go down to Greg Porchy.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for our two finalists? And now for our awards presentation, your Class B girls runner-up, the Waverly Vikings, coached by Tracy Donovan and Craig Johnson. Brooke Oxner. Lizzie Donovan. Olivia Woolburn. Paige Hinkey. Peyton Johnson. Sarah Campbell. And Tristan Menser. And ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the Waverly Vikings, your Class B girls runner-up. Now, here is your 2011-2012 Class B girls champions, Pius X Thunderbolts. Coached by Tyler Putney and Rod Mahacek. Brooke Putney. Jessica Lears. Kelly Mahacek. Megan Straub. And Kaylee Peterson. And ladies, here is your championship trophy. Congratulations to the 2011-2012 Class B Girls Champions.
So congratulations to the Thunderbolts from Pius X, the Class B Girls State Champs. And when we come back, we'll wrap it up in Class A. Should be a good one. A rematch from last year. Lincoln East taking on Lincoln North Star for the title. Stay with us.
NET Sports provides 165 hours of local Nebraska high school sports and collegiate sports each year, more than any other Nebraska network, on air or online in high definition. NET Sports, Nebraska's home for sports.
The first item on today's agenda.
The Nebraska legislature is back in session, and you can see live gavel-to-gavel coverage on NET2 or by logging on to netnebraska.org/Capitol. Plus, listen weekdays to NET Radio for in-depth reports on what's making news in the Nebraska legislature. Reaching more people with more choices, watch, listen, or log on to NET and be more informed.
Did you know during the last legislative session, NET served 350 web streams? These streams originated from the legislature, hearing rooms, judiciary, and the governor's press room. They were watched 124,000 times for a total of nearly 3 million minutes. NET enriches lives, engages minds, and connects Nebraska communities.
With the ball, drive right side, throws it up. Fire away one last shot. Well, welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes. Along with Steve Simpek, I'm Larry Putney. Great to have you back with us for our final match of the morning, the Class A State Championship Showdown, and you're going to want a DVD of this because it'll be a good one. And for a DVD, just go to our website, NHSBF.com, navigate your way, and order a DVD and keep these memories for a lifetime. Should be a good one. North Star Navigators, the East High Spartans. This, folks, a rematch of last year's state championship. Brad Jakubowski, the head coach of Lincoln North Star. McKinnis Sheldon is a freshman. He has actually three sophomores in there. Mackenzie London, Riley Good, Sarah Clark, and Sam Kazda, outstanding senior. Shelby Clark has been bowling well. And Skylar Halverson is a young freshman. That's a look at the North Star Navigators. So we will come back and check out the East High Spartans. We'll give you their names and lineups, or the Navigators. It's North Star and East, and it's all coming up next on NET Sports.
Brought to you in part by the Ellen and Marcia Bear Foundation and by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, encouraging high schools to sanction the sport of bowling across Nebraska.
Well, the consumer is demanding food safety, and that's one reason that we've all got the attitude we do of raising the food in the United States to keep a safe food chain for our consumer, because we never want to lose that consumer as our buyer of our product.
Nebraska soybean farmers and the Soybean Checkoff support the Nebraska poultry and livestock producers as our farming neighbors and soybean meal customers.
Power Drive electric car program gives high school students a hands-on way to apply studies, learn about electricity and energy efficiency, and develop skills that will benefit them throughout their lives. Nebraska Public Power District encourages students and teachers to get involved. Schools have the power to make it happen. For information on Power Drive, visit oppd.com or nppd.com.
This is NET Television. More channels and more choices.
With the ball, drives right side, throws it up. So welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska for our final match of the day, the Class A State Championship between the North Star Navigators, East High Spartans. We showed you East High right before the break. Now coming back, let's take a look at the Navigators. Head coach Bob and Vicky Corum. They've been there for 7 years as the head coaches. And they are led by a couple of talented seniors, a couple of talented juniors. Senior Brittany Kirchhoff, Brittany Hall, a freshman, Emily Weirs, a transfer, get this, from East High School. From North Star to East High School. And this obviously is the North Star Navigators, not the Lincoln East roster. So time to get going here in the Class A State Championship. Right, exactly. Right, that's right. So it should be a terrific matchup, a showdown between North Star and Lincoln East. North Star 7-1 on the season in their conference play. Lincoln East also 7-1 on the season. A slight advantage in total team average to Lincoln North Star. But high game of the year is held by Lincoln East. So you know what they say, Steve, on any given day. And that's certainly what we could be seeing here today as these two squared off last year for the state title. Navigators came out on top. We started off in the right-hand lane. Brittany Hall.
Good shot.
Brittany leaving the 4-7. Now in the right-hand lane, Sarah Clark. Sarah, a sophomore for Lincoln East.
You said it, Larry. This will be 1 to DVR. A lot of good bowling here.
Little high. And some work left there. Talked about Bob and Vicki Corum, the co-head coaches in their 7th year at North Star. They've won it twice, back in 2007. They also won it last year in 2011. So they're looking for back-to-back titles. Come out of the block with a spare. 3rd time in the state championship finals for North Star. Every time they've been in, Steve, they've won it.
Well, I remember last year, Larry, it was very close. Went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I would expect nothing less today. First open frame, though. Lincoln East's chopping that 36-10 spare. Chance for North Star to jump on top.
Emily Weirs crosses over, leaves the 3-pin. Now, Emily, an interesting story. She's a sophomore, bowled last year for Lincoln East. Transferred in the offseason. She transferred from Lincoln East to Parkview Christian, and Parkview Christian, because it's located near North Star, has co-opted this year in bowling with North Star, so she is facing her old team in the state championship match.
I'm sure that'll make it interesting, more interesting.
Yeah. And a good cover by Emily Weirs. Now up on the right-hand lane is Riley Good. Riley, a sophomore. Really trying to get that pendulum swing going. And picked up the 2-7. Nice conversion.
A little a la Carmen Salvino there. See how many people recognize that name.
The old Brunswick guy, right?
Yep. Him and Wayne Webb on the old PBA tour. Patented that no push away arm swing. Yep.
Only PBA bowler ever shorter than I am.
And Wayne was a great player and had a great arm swing.
Shelby Clark comes in a little light. She leaves the 2-8, stands up. Shelby really has set a terrific example for some of these young freshmen and sophomores. She's been a terrific leader on that Lincoln East team, according to Coach Jacobowski. Looking for the conversion and picks up the 3. So Shelby turned to her coach and asked, how many should I move to pick this up? Now she's going to make a move here to pick up that 2-8. Needs to hook at it because of the double wood.
Goes pretty straight at it, though, Larry.
Yes, she does, and got it.
Outrun the risk of going by there.
So now up on the left-hand lane, here's Kendra Porter. Kendra also coming from a long, good lineage in bowling. Her father is Mark Porter, terrific amateur bowler in the Nebraska, Lincoln, Midwest region area. And the carry and the strike for Lincoln East. East.
Big smile there from
keeps it within 10.
Mackenzie London.
Yep.
Yeah. Kendra Porter, Dad Mark, one of the toughest tournaments around is the coveted Sandhills match game, which is always contested twice a year on very, very hard lane conditions on purpose. You know going into the tournament that scores are not going to be high and that spares are going to be a premium and the lanes will be tough, and Mark is always a consistent casher. He's won it a couple times.
Needs to sit, and it does. Double for Lincoln East, so they pull back into it. They were down 10 through 4, but a big double for the Spartans. Now watch this young lady. She is talented. Good turn and good finish. Haley Hall averages 197 in just her junior year. She will be bowling collegiately somewhere after next season. So there's a look at the score. We are all even, essentially, through 5.
Well, it's this is the cream of the crop of girls Class A bowling. Just a lot of fundamental soundness in all their games. Discipline at the foul line. That's another good shot, Larry.
Sarah Clark can't get that 10 pin to go. A good run. So now up on the right-hand lane, here's Brittany Hall. Brittany, just a freshman, younger sister of Haley Hall. And a good roll put on that. She spun that around. Turned that tin around, but couldn't get it to go. So both with single pin conversions, both 10 pins.
Cross lane at the 10, took something off the ball. It's got a set and does.
It's all good cover by Clark. And now up on the right-hand lane, Brittany Hall for the same.
Same thing, Larry.
And good coverage. Solid bowling by these ladies.
Both girls took a little something off the ball, straightened it out. Good cover. Just about even. A 1-pin lead now for North Star. Frame number 7 coming up. There's that straight arm swing we talked about. And there's advantages to that. It keeps your arms straight. Yep. It's tough to do, but there's still a lot of bowlers that do approach the game that way. And if you have trouble with the arm swing, maybe wrapping around behind your back or bouncing away from your body, that's one way to cure it. Young lady has a very solid game too. Just hung a little bit on the release. The ball kind of popped off her hand just a little late. Leaves the dinner bucket +1.
On a strike, so the pin count did not hurt. An important spare here and a good cover. So solid conversion for Emily Weirs. And here on the left lane, Shelby Clark. Senior, averages 185, needs to hook it, it does. Good cover by Shelby.
Larry, you look at these rosters of all these girls and the boys, which we'll see, which we've already seen. You see these young high school athletes averaging 160, 70, 80, 190. I mean, what are they going to do when they get out of high school? They're going to continue to bowl, is what they're going to do. And that's great for our sport. Really is. Keeps them in the game, in the sport. You know, some will drift away like they do in every sports, but, you know, they'll hopefully most of them will stay in it, get their kids someday to bowl, and that's the plan with high school bowling.
So now up on the right-hand lane, Kendra Porter. Kendra averages 171. She's got a nice arm swing, good follow through, good finish in the strike for Kendra Porter. Big double by North Star.
Yep, and with this split here for Lincoln East, that's...
So the double gave North Star the lead. The split in the 9th by Lincoln East opened up that lead, and now Haley Hall will be up on the right-hand lane. And Haley, last year, you might remember, Steve, we talked about the urethane ball that she was throwing at the time, and as it turns out, she was battling a wrist injury and just did not have the strength to throw anything that would be stronger than that she could throw hard enough. She had surgery on that wrist in the offseason, either an extra tendon or cartilage that she had in there, had that removed and got that strength back in the wrist, and she's throwing an outstanding ball.
Good shot there. Yeah, the switch to a urethane ball, all of these bowling balls are made of urethane, but that particular ball she used last year was a solid urethane ball, where these are what we call reactive resin. When you talk about not having the strength to throw it, it's not that the ball was heavier. Nope. It's just that those balls require more strength and power to get the ball down the lane in order to hold off the break and hold off the hook. So her switch to a straight urethane ball allowed that ball to be a little less aggressive, and she didn't have to muscle it down the lane.
Right.
Right now, 203 possibility for North Star here with a strike if Haley can strike here in the 10th, which she does. Great shot. 203 to 170. North Star off with a quick lead, Larry.
So out to the quick start is Lincoln North Star. They're on top 1-0. I'll remind you that you can become a fan of NET Sports on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/NET Sports. You can leave questions, comments, see what happens behind the scenes, plus follow what's coming up next on NET Sports. It's fast, it's fun, and easier than ever to become part of the only statewide sports network. Facebook.com/NET Sports. Right?
When you were coaching your boys' team, Larry, I checked us in on Facebook, so
that's great. Thank you.
Took care of that, pal.
You check in on Facebook now? Is that what you do?
I think.
Okay.
I don't know what that really means, but you know, my kids help me with that.
Okay.
So. It's cool from what I hear.
Brittany Hall now on the right-hand lane. A 1-0 lead for North Star. Good shot. Doesn't quite trip that 10-pin.
You notice, Larry, everybody's been right around the pocket. A couple of errant shots here and there, but everybody's been pretty much right around the pocket. And even though you don't carry the 10 every time, it's not bad to, you know, I would not teach a lot of kids to move. You're in the pocket, hitting the pocket over and over again, you know, sooner or later you're going to carry those. So maybe a minor adjustment, but boy, all of them seem to be lined up on the lanes pretty well. Cross lane, well done.
Hang on, got it. Saw a good conversion. Both teams marking in frame number 1. So here up on the left-hand lane for Lincoln East, it's Riley Good. Got a little wide on her. Comes back and leaves that left-hand side.
It's a good way to learn to keep that arm straight with that arm swing.
Needs to finish.
Oh, tough break. Big grin there. She knew she'd do it real well, but Emily just got a bad break. She'll need to just regroup and get the 1.
So Good now, swinging that.
Well done. Oh, just hooked a little bit at the end there. I like that play, using your arm swing like that. I like that. It's a very good teaching tool.
Yes, it is.
Teach you the straight pendulum arm swing you hear about.
Yep. So Shelby Clark now on the left-hand lane.
Great finish.
Wow. Great shot by Clark, the senior.
Great release.
So now on the right-hand lane, Brittany Kirchhoff. Kirchhoff very direct, crosses it, leaves the 3. Here's Mackenzie London. That needs to sit. He does kick the 5 out, avoids the baby split. Leaves the 6 pin. You see Coach Brad Jacobowski up there quickly.
Kenzie asked for a little help, maybe where to stand on this cross lane spare. Well covered there by North Star, keeping themselves still down about 16 pins, although they have a spare working. Cross lane at the 9.
Got it. So good spare conversion. So 4th bowler up on the right-hand side, Kendra Porter.
See how her hand is underneath the ball. Center of the palm stays underneath. It stays underneath all the way until she releases it. Just tugged it a little bit there. She's been closer to the 2nd arrow. That ball, Larry, was in around 12th, 13th board.
Sam Kazda can't get the 10 pin out. So important 2 here as Lincoln East has the lead and will See that lead grow. Gave it a run. Now Kasner with the 10-pin. Hoping to extend a 13-pin lead. Had a good cover by Kasner.
It's pretty big, Larry. That keeps them out in front. Here's your go-to player for North Star.
Boy, what a reaction she's getting in the back end. Outstanding shot. You can see why she's averaging 197 on the year. So two teams will switch sides. Remember, North Star winning game number 1, 203 to 170. You see there, Lincoln East has the lead here in the second game. North Star has a strike working. Hey, sports fans, remember, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other network. For more information on dates, times, DVD sales, and available webcasts, log on to netnebraska.org/sports.
Chance to add to your Larry Putney collection, since Larry does all the sports on NET.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So here's Sarah Clark.
Ball got off her hand a little too quick, Larry. Lost it to the right. Oh, my. I don't know how you'd approach that. I guess you got to hit down the right side and send the 1 pin into the 7 and hope you carry out the 5. And it's a tough spare regardless. Spare here by North Star will even up the match.
Brittany Hall. Just drives through, leaves that 9 pin in the back. So still a chance for Lincoln East to hold on to that lead. And with a spare, they could extend it.
It's the 1-5-7. The ball's got to go to the right of the head pin. It's got a chance. Just hard to do unless you really bring that ball in hard from the right side and late in order to slide that head pin over to the 7 and yet take out the 5.
Here's Emily Weers with a solid shot. Good reaction.
Just a sophomore. Throws the ball great.
Here's Riley Good. Good reaction. Oh my God. Great late reaction and sends that 10 pin forward. They sanded down the bottoms of the pins before we began today. Boy, big shot and a double for Lincoln North Star. Brittany Kirchhoff. Now Shelby Clark to see if she can answer. Good shot.
Boy, that looked really good coming off her hand. Went right down the lane, right in the correct spot. Just 6 pin goes around the 10, unfortunately. Part of the game, got to pick your spare up. North Star with a chance to take the lead. Oh, same
shot. Well, we are just about dead even.
Yes. Both girls need spares here, Larry, to keep their team from falling behind.
Important conversion here, and she got it. So nice spare by Clark. Shelby Clark, the senior. Now Kendra Porter to attempt the same. Kendra Porter, just a junior.
It's got a lay off, Larry, and it didn't. It's a big difference there. That strike here by Northeast, and Northeast will take the lead.
That'll finish.
Lincoln East.
Yep.
Lincoln East and North Star.
Right.
Spartans now with the lead, Larry, going into the 10th frame. Strike working in the 9th gives Lincoln East that lead.
And don't put it past Haley Hall to punch here and force Lincoln East to mark.
Look at that. The way she just wrestles through that ball at the point of release. Oh, just
what a great shot. Not much you can do about that one. So Sam Kasdan now really just needs
count.
Yep. Mark wraps it up.
should be enough. 157. If she opens, that'll be enough. Best North Star can shoot is 156.
And a good cover. So she, 156 right now, correct?
Correct. North Star can shoot 156. She needs to get 1 pin.
Needs 1, yep.
Yeah,
she did.
Okay.
Just enough.
Just enough. 158. Actually, she just needed the best she needed was just the 8 count. So she was good there, Larry. But just a couple of 10 pins there.
Buried it. So 158, 156 is the final. Lincoln East comes back and takes game number 2. So we are at 1 game apiece between these two Lincoln teams. I want to remind you to download our new NET Radio Nebraska mobile app and listen live to NET Radio's news, classical, or news jazz stations wherever you are. Really pause, rewind, live audio, plus explore past and present stories on NET News. You can look for that free NET Radio Nebraska app in the iTunes or Android app markets. So back up on the right-hand lane, here's Sarah Clark.
Better release by Sarah.
Needs to finish. Mix. Got
it. You know, every one of these girls, whether they miss or strike, they just seem so happy to be here. They just have a great beaming smile on their face. They're having a great time with their friends. Well, that wasn't the brightest smile there, knowing that she missed an easy 4-pin spare. So Lincoln East with a quick lead.
Here's Riley Good. Riley can stick it on with a double. Good shot. Got it. What a ball by Riley Good. Boy, that was a big shot here in game number 2. There's a sit and carry. Emily Weirs.
Shelby Clark, another go-to bowler. We've seen her in years past bowl really well, Larry.
Yep.
Great shot. Back-to-back ringing 10s for her.
Good shot. Now Clark will try to convert here on the 10-pin.
Takes a little something off the ball there. Flattens out real well. Beautiful smile there. She's happy. That's, you know, there's probably more pressure on picking up the 10-pin than throwing a strike. Right. You don't want to leave your team with an open frame. Another cross lane at the 10 here. Brittany Kirchhoff.
And a good conversion for Kirchhoff as well. Back on the right-hand lane now. Here comes Mackenzie London. Mackenzie's a sophomore. Averaged 185 this year. A good solid game at the line. Got that to finish and got the mixer again.
Just couldn't believe it. Thought for sure that was probably not going to come back and make it to the pocket, but good enough. Lincoln East out quickly to a 30-pin lead. Cut it to 20 here with a strike by North Star. Oh, great shot, Larry.
Messenger doesn't quite get there.
You know, the difference there between the last couple shots we've seen and the shot there by Kendra Porter was Kendra's ball goes a little further down the lane before it makes its move to the pocket, where the last two girls, both Shelby Clark and Brittany Kirchhoff, their ball sets up a little by setting up right there. Classic example. It's a great shot there. By Sam Kazda. That ball set up and went into its heavy roll right before it got to the pocket, and that was just an unfortunate break. But Kendra Porter's ball goes a little straighter, a little longer down the lane before it makes its move to the pocket, and by doing that, sometimes you leave those what we call flat 10s. But missed spare opportunity can really give East a commanding lead here with the spare.
And good conversion all over the spare. So a 32-pin advantage right now for Lincoln East.
Well, here's your go-to girl, Haley Hall. Haley's been a little quiet. She's hit the pocket, left some 10 pins. But just like last year, she turned it up a notch at the end. It was really the driving force behind winning it for them last year. She got a little deep there in the center of the lane. That ball, she actually looks like she pulled it a little. And sometimes in this game, with all the oil in the center part of the lane, you can pull the ball and still have it not finished because of the heavy concentrate of oil in the middle. Dinner bucket 2, 4, 5, 8. And as we said, there's plenty of different ways to miss that.
So hooked it past, and now Lincoln East's lead expanded to better than 40 pins now, 44. 89 with a mark working makes 99, plus the assumed 10 is 109, and it's 44 pin differential. So Lincoln East has come back strong, winning game number 2, 158-156, after the North Star Navigators took game number 1. Here's Clark.
Ball's a good shot, Larry. It's going to set right up in the pocket. Just didn't set up high enough in the pocket. Hit the pocket a little bit closer to the 3-pin, a little bit of a lower pocket hit, leaving the 10. North Star needs a strike right now.
So the 2-5 remaining.
Coach Corm saying, what do I got to do?
Right.
Been high, been light, I need to make a move. But maybe it'll come down to spare shooting here. We'll see how this works on the cross lane. 10. Takes something off the ball.
Got a good cover by Sarah Clark. Lincoln North Star this year, as I said earlier, finished their conference season 7-1, as did Lincoln East. So both tied for 7-1 records in the district. Lincoln East had the higher team game. North Star the higher scratch team series. And the high average in district was Haley Hall with a 199.13. Little high, but gets that 7-pin to fall. Does Riley good. Now in the right-hand lane. Here's Emily Weirs.
Well, I like Emily's game. Short, compact swing. Short little steps up to the foul line. Low maintenance game. North Star trying to dig its way back in, Larry. Cut the lead to 29 now. It's a big spare here. If Riley would not convert this, that'll shrink the lead even more for Northeast and East, I should say. If all went in the gutter, that won't count.
So a little bit of an opening there.
134 now in the 7th.
Boy, if they could put one on here, look out.
This will cut the lead to 10 with a strike. This will be a double, and she does.
That right lane looks like they're getting a little better reaction. Both teams getting better reaction on the right lane than they are the left.
I agree, Larry. I think their right lane's playing a little different, hooking a little more. Shelby Clark, great bowler. Needs that strike and gets it.
Boy, big shot after the open, and North Star had dropped 2 on him.
Keeps that lead at about 30 pins for Lincoln East.
Needs to skid. Kendra crosses over.
Kendra just seems a little hesitant out there. She just seems a little frustrated. She should move and follow where Emily Weirs, her teammate's playing. That's about the right spot. Ooh, this makes life interesting here.
Yes, it does.
Kendra needs to pick this up. If she picks this up, that'll shrink the lead, assuming that Lincoln East will just take the 2-pin count. That'll shrink the lead down to approximately 10 pins.
10 pins, yeah. Get out
she
there.
Again.
Gone.
Well, that sets up the 10th frame, Larry. Best Lincoln North Star can shoot now is 172. So really all Lincoln East needs in the 10th frame is a mark.
Right.
And really not even that now. Now just pin count is all they really need. Well, they're going to need a mark. They need a 1 mark, spare a strike, and Lincoln East will take a 2-1 lead here. See if Haley Hall makes a little bit of a move to the right. Looks like she did, Larry.
Needs that. Got it. Big shot.
A little bit further right, although I think you're right, Larry. The right-hand lane is finishing a little stronger.
So here's Sam Kazda. Kazda needs a mark. A strike here would do it. Good ball. Still interesting. We still got a match here. Because if Hall throws this one and one more, she finishes with 172. And if Kazda were to miss, that'd be 171. So still not out of reach for North Star. Have to have this one.
It's got a hook.
And it does. Got the mixer. So Kazda, the senior, has been in this situation before. She steps up knowing she has to have the spare. She's in the anchor spot for a reason. She is money and she delivers.
Stay behind the foul line. And out of the gutter.
Yep. So this is one where North Star will look back and say, well, we missed a single pin in the ninth. We had 6-2 in the fifth. We missed a single pin in the fourth and the first. And we only lost by less than 10 pins.
Well, but that's where you've got to coach your kids and tell them those are all single pin spares that, they convert 2 of those 3, Larry. They win by 30 pins.
Right. Well, that'll do it. 81 to 170. 181 for Lincoln East, 170 for North Star, and Lincoln East has taken a 2-1 lead. Hey, we said this was going to be a good one. And it is. Hey, this is NET, the home of NET Television, NET Radio, and NET Online Services for all Nebraska. NET is on the go with you. You can watch, listen, and learn at home on your computer, on your iPhone, on your car, on your regular phone. NET, it's the place for excellent programming for everyone, everywhere. Good crowd on hand here at Sun Valley Lanes. Watching the Navigators and Spartans. So game number 4. East a win away from a state championship. Up on the right lane for North Star is Brittany Hall. Right up the boards, very solid, and got it. Good shot by Hall.
Sorry about that, Larry.
Yeah.
She was struggling a little bit there early with trying to get her feet in the right spot and her release in the right spot. It was the best shot she has thrown this afternoon. Just a nice, simple game here.
Very solid. Yep.
Very good spare.
Here's Emily Weirs.
As I said, Emily's game, ball.
Yeah, you saw the look on her face when she let it go. She knew, missed a little bit right.
Just missed it a little bit to the right, may have dropped it a little bit, so, but she doesn't do a whole lot of things to get herself in a ton of trouble.
Here's Emily Good.
That's a good shot there. It's going to hook back. Oh, just that left-hand lane playing just a little bit tighter. What we mean in bowling is when the lane is tighter, the lane does not hook as much. That means you got to keep the ball more direct at whatever you're shooting at, whether it be the spare or pocket, or the pocket for your strike shot. 2, 4, 5, and 8. The bucket, we call it in bowling, on lane 27. Bunch of different ways to miss this shot. Right. Times we said that today.
So here's Riley on the left-hand lane to pick up that bucket. Good straight arm swing. He needs to skid. It does. What a shot.
Yeah, big grin there.
Yep.
She knew that could have gone either way, maybe.
So here's Brittany Kirchhoff. Brittany looking for her second consecutive state championship. Varsity, that goes a little high. Unusual that Brittany has a chance Steve to win 2 state varsity championships if she wins today, but also as a freshman and sophomore, she won 2 state JV championships. She would end every year of her career with a state championship, and there's a great shot and leaves a solid 8.
It would be disappointing to not win, I guess.
It would be, yeah.
You know, she would be...
It'd be the only time in her career she hasn't finished with a championship.
It just shows you how good the program is at North Star.
Yep.
Horns at the helm.
There's a look at the score. 2-pin advantage for North Star, but that opened in the 3rd. On the split. Needs to convert. Just held on. Shelby turns around and says, I knew I had it.
See if Kendra Porter can stay assertive. Struck the last time up. Previous game, made a good ball, or made a good move on the lane. Stays right there. Great shot. Shrugs her shoulders, says she knew I could do it.
You know what Kendra's hobbies are? Bowling, sleeping, and eating.
Well, you know,
those are the 3.
That is a good lifestyle.
You're not kidding. If you can get away with it, you gotta love it. And a great shot there. Apparently, Mark Porter's winning an awful lot of tournaments.
Got 5 kids that share those same hobbies. The North Star.
Haley Hall here.
Needs to go to their go-to player to get him back in the hunt. And
she did. So a double for North Star. Down by 9, and now Kazda will see if she can answer. Sam Kazda. Thought it was falling. And it still may. No.
Almost.
It tried.
Well. That tightens things up, Larry. That actually, with that double, will give North Star a 3-pin lead here. Can increase that to 23 if North Star can strike in the 6th.
Kazda needs the 1. Just got it. Might have hit the back half of the pin. So Kazda comes through on a big shot for Lincoln East. So a reminder where we're at. Let's reset here. They will switch at the 5th frame, and you see the score. Lincoln North Star has taken the lead with the double, and North Star must win this game. Gators in a must-win situation. Lincoln East has come back to win games 2 and 3 after East has come back to win games 2 and 3 after North Star won the first. So a must-win for North Star. And here's Brittany Hall.
Just kind of lost that a little bit on the downswing. Heard a little bit of a double dribble there when she let go. Causes the ball to not finish strong. That's all right, though. Easy 10-pin spare. Got to pick it up, though.
Here's Sarah Clark. Wants to study veterinary sciences someday and didn't quite get that. Back to the pocket.
A little fast there.
Now on the left lane. 10-pin conversion. Love the angle she takes at that 10-pin. Nice and wide angle. Many times you'll see people try to go even inside 3rd arrow to pick up that 10-pin. Get left and open that lane up for you.
Absolutely. It's got a set,
Skid.
Larry. Nope.
So it could open it a little more for Lincoln North Star as they extend the lead now to 15 pins. And here's Weirs. Needs to get up. Carry, does it? It rattles the 7, but doesn't quite get it down. So a 14-pin advantage. Riley Good now on the right-hand lane. Riley Good, also into music, plays clarinet, just a sophomore. And a great shot. How does that 7 stand? Why don't you walk me through that?
Ball just finished just a touch high, Larry. Just enough to cause that to happen. 9 times out of 10, both those shots, both those ladies threw are going to strike, just not this time.
So down by 14, Good needs to answer with the spare. Boy, taking her time.
Looks pretty good.
And a good cover by Riley Good.
You're seeing some great women's bowling right now, and more than half of these young ladies, Larry, do not throw the ball hard. I would almost venture to say they throw it slow.
Right, yeah.
And it's a sign that you don't have to tear the finger holes out of the ball, and you don't have to throw it 10,000 miles an hour to be a good bowler. You need to be accurate, you need to make good shots, you need to repeat shots.
Right. But today we get caught up in the show and the glitz of the big strike and the powerful blow them out of the rack, and that's what kids gravitate toward. And they want to make it fun. You want them to enjoy it.
Yep.
Boy, big shot there.
And they emulate what they see on TV.
You're right.
And that's what you see now if you watch the Professional Bowlers Tour. Well, this is going to come down the wire again. Still a 14-pin lead for North Star.
But Kendra Porter now with a chance to strike and put the pressure back on Lincoln East.
She's had 2 strikes back-to-back now, looking for a third. That's got a hook. That's the tighter lane, or Larry, I don't know if that lane is so much tighter as it is. It does not finish as hard at the back, and we've seen that happen now a couple times on lane 27, where bowlers are leaving flat 10s, where on lane 28 the light hit carries.
Mix it up and leaves the 10-pin. So a little bit of work for both of these ladies.
Still a 14-pin lead for North Star. Good view of the crowd there, standing, and it is standing room only in here.
That's great.
Just a wonderful weekend. The weather cooperated, and had great crowds at all facilities. All 3 of the bowling centers in Lincoln were hosting qualifying on Saturday. They are jammed in here at Sun Valley Lanes on Sunday.
Mackenzie London converts as well. So a big mark in the 9th for both of these teams. So still a 14-pin advantage, and now to the time where Haley Hall is going to have to pull her team back into it with the double.
Well, strike spare for North Star in the 10th frame, Larry, will wrap it up.
Big shot.
So now North Star just needs a mark. Actually, not even that much now. They just need some count. Lincoln East, to have any chance, has to double. And that's not going to do it, so we're going to go to game 5.
So no surprise. I mean, we expected a terrific battle between these two. And
this is really a coin toss, I would say.
North Star comes out of the gate with the 203 to 170 win, but back come the Spartans, winning 158-156 and 181 to 170. And now here in this 3rd game, they're going to throw another 200 on the board as North Star. And a 166 for Lincoln East. 10 again.
I think somebody's lined up.
204 for Haley Hall. So it comes down to this once again. Yep, you're on TV. Go Kendra.
That sign out. Okay, for all the marbles.
Yep, that's what they say.
Just like same lineup, same order for North Star.
Why not? It worked well. Brittany Hall, a little high.
Got away with it there, though. Now it's no time where you don't want to see those breaks turn into splits. You're hoping for the shot that might be a little off target to come out something that's makeable.
Sarah Clark needs to cross over. She does, and they both fall. What a break. Big break for Sarah Clark at East. They start out with the strike. As the opposing team, you cannot let that affect you.
Absolutely. You've got to pick up your spares.
And a good cover. So now up on the right lane once again, the sophomore, Riley Good. She has been today. Needs to react. Now Riley says she really likes bowling in heavy oil, and you can see why. Nice pace on the ball, good speed, enough rotation to get some back end.
Throws it fairly slow, so she needs that ball, needs a little extra oil in the lanes to skid.
So there's Emily Weirs coming in a little high. Makeable split, though, for Weirs.
Cross lane at the 4-7 here for Riley. She does, it's very deliberate, takes her time. That's going to have to lay off Larry, and not gonna, so things even up a little more. Spare, well, chance of the spare here, difficult split.
Can be made, though, and comes in a little high to convert. So through 2 frames, it's a 2-pin advantage for the Spartans, 26-24 in a winner-take-all Game 5. Here's
another
what
one.
A shot by Shelby
That's
Clark.
Back-to-back 8 pins, Larry. She had a 8-pin in the 8th frame earlier in the previous match, and same shot.
Brittany Kirchhoff.
You know, the only thing the coach can say is great shot. You're repeating your shots. Just do the same thing.
Right.
Next time it'll probably carry.
Clark now. And a good conversion by Clark. Kirchhoff on the other lane. Got it. So Mackenzie London now on the right lane for the East High Spartans. Good shot. And trips it that time. Got it to go. Good ball by Mackenzie.
A little slap there off the 6-pin into the 10. Kendra Porter.
Big shot by Porter. Got it. Great answer by Porter. Up on the right-hand lane, here's Sam Kazda. By the way, Kazda comes in a little high, gets the break. Kazda won the singles event yesterday, which was contested at Hollywood Bowl. She shot 577 for her 3 games and beat out this lady right here, Haley Hall, who finished second. In a very tough condition yesterday, Haley Hall shot 545. Kazda shot 577. Hang right there as she converts. So nice job by Kazda. Just very solid and does not miss spares. An important one here for Hall. And she covered. So at the turn, it is a still 2-pin game. Lincoln East on top of North Star. Well, how about this? We've boarded about 45 frames, and it's coming down to the last 5. All even. 2 games apiece, and a 2-pin advantage for East.
It's very expected with the talent level these two teams have.
So up here is Sarah Clark. Clark says she's best at spares. Not bad at strikes either.
Call that dead flush is what you call that. All 10 pins in the pit. She's done her job. We don't go to extra frames. She's done. She's bowled tremendously well. Struck both the 1st and the 6th frame for Lincoln East.
So here on the right lane is Brittany Hall, younger sister of Haley Hall. Wow, what an answer. Boy, what terrific shot making by both of these teams. I can tell you, as evidenced last week, as you saw, it's not easy to step into that arena and make good shots when you have to. Crosses over and got the break. Riley good with the Brooklyn.
I was about to say that maybe I could see Lincoln East having a little more trouble handling pressure. They've come right back with a double. This shot looks good too.
She really has moved inside and can't get that 10 out. But a good solid shot by Weirs.
Gives the Spartans a 14-pin lead. Could go to 34 if Shelby Clark can strike here. Let's see if she learns how to carry that 8-pin.
Good ball.
Oh,
Can't get it out.
She is.
What a great attitude. Big smile every time she comes back.
She bowled very well last year, I remember. Good cover of the 10-pin. That's how to do it, just like that. It's very important. It keeps North Star from falling way behind. They're going to need to throw a couple strikes here, though, as Lincoln East is beginning to pull away little by little here.
East, hang on.
Okay, well.
Might have opened the door just a bit.
143 in the 8th. Possible 203 for Lincoln East. A strike here will cut the lead to 9 pins. North Star just be down by 9 with a strike. Oh, almost carried the 4 forward.
So we could have a tie here, Steve, if a tie in the 8th with a spare and a strike by North Star. It would be all even at 143 in the 8th. Yeah, it needs to get up there and leaves the 4-pin. It's a very important shot here for Brittany Kirchhoff.
Cover this 4-pin spare. Cross lane at the 4. Well done.
Money. So Mark in the 8th. And now Kendra Porter will step on in the 9th to try to even it. Another important spare here for Lincoln East.
Problem?
Good cover. So Mackenzie London does her job and picks up the spare, and now it goes for Lincoln East to the 10th frame. But first, here's Kendra Porter. Strike ties it. Anything else, they'll trail by just pins. She made a good shot. Made a good shot. Got it. What a big shot by Kendra Porter. All even, going to the 10.
And that actually sets the North Star up to take the lead with the strike working in the 9th. So now really it's just about imperative that Sam Kazda strikes here. Unless North Star would open in the 10th, if Sam Kazda strikes, it's going to put this match right back to even and a big, big chance of a tie. And of course,
what a shot by Kazda! Under pressure, and you can see it on the face, the big deep breath. And now an all-important shot by Hall here. A strike, and they have the advantage.
Big exhale there. She throws the ball very well.
Big advantage, sit, carry. What a shot. Now up by 10 thanks to that shot. So a must strike here for Kazda.
Has to strike. If she does not, North Star state champions.
Gotta sit. Gotta sit.
Oh my.
What a shot. Kazda put it in the pocket and couldn't get the carry.
So a 9 and a spare, Larry, is going to be good enough for 193. North Star's your champions. Lincoln East, best they could shoot 183. You know, the open frame there, in the 8th frame there, that missed 10-pin was, unfortunately, is going to be a deciding factor. There's your champions, back-to-back for Lincoln North Star.
Not a bad player to have sitting in that anchor spot is Haley Hall. And so for the 2nd year in a row, a terrific season by the East High Spartans. Get all the way here to the state finals, and 2nd year in a row, they finish 2nd. And look at the big smile on Hall's face as she throws her final shot loose and free. And they come back with another 200, a 202-183 victory in the final for Lincoln North Star.
Larry Espen is entertaining a match as I've seen in the 8 years we've done this. That's right up there at the top. That's been very good.
Saw a terrific job by Lincoln East and by Lincoln North Star. North Star, your state champions. It went 5. They won it 202-183. When we come back, we'll have the trophy presentations, hand out some medals, and we'll call it a wrap from Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Stay with us.
Time Warner Cable is dedicated to the future of our nation's children. That's why we've launched our Connect a Million Minds initiative. We're asking adults to help us inspire kids through science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're achieving this through local partnerships with FIRST. Across the country, Time Warner Cable employees are helping bring FIRST robotics competitions to the areas we serve. The future of our nation and our children depends on math, science, and technology. Visit connectamillionminds.com to find out what you can do.
He brought you Faces of America, African American Lives, Oprah's Roots, and now in his new series.
That's pretty remarkable.
Henry Louis Gates Jr. shares extraordinary revelations.
Oh my God.
About the lives of these talented Americans. The new series, Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr.
Coming in March to NET1.
Hello, I'm Jeff Beckman. For the past several years, I've been encouraging you to consider making a gift to the NET Endowment Fund or to arrange an estate gift that would benefit sports programming on NET. Now, a number of you have called me and donated directly to NET, or you've made provisions for estate gifts. I'd like to take this opportunity right now to say thank you. Now, for those of you who want to know more, feel free to call me to set up a confidential appointment. I'd be happy to tell you how your investment in NET Sports will preserve more than 200 hours of your favorite sports action on NET each year. Husker Volleyball and Baseball, the NSAA High School Championships, Creighton Basketball and Baseball, MAV Hockey, and more. My job here at NET is to remind you that private financial support is what makes all that possible. I found the most success in working with Nebraskans like you on a one-on-one basis. So call me today and I'll explain how your legacy can live on through a gift to NET.
And welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a wrap in Class A. The East High Spartans fall to the North Star Navigators, who have now won back-to-back state championships. And with the champs, let's go down to Steve Simpek.
Thanks, Larry. Coach Bob Corum, Brittany Kirchhoff. Interesting story here. This is your second state championship in a row. This young lady here, in her 4th year of high school bowling, has to her credit 2 junior varsity state championships and now 2 varsity state championships. So all the years you've been at North Star, you've always won a state championship. So way to go out a little spoiled.
Thank you.
What a great way to go. What was going through your mind was coming down to the end there? I mean, that was as exciting as it gets.
I couldn't even think. I mean, it was scary. I mean, I knew we could do it. We're a great team. I mean, East is a great team too, and we've accomplished a lot this year, and I'm so proud of my team.
Well, I tell you what, you're 100% right. That's talking to Larry in the booth up there, that in the 8 years we've done this, that's as great bowling as I've seen in all these years. Bob, you've had some great teams over the year. What do you think of this one?
This is a special team. We had some hard times this year, and everybody was able to pull together as a team, and that's basically what it takes. They have to realize that this is a team sport, not an individual sport, and they were able to do that this year. Huge.
Well, congratulations to both teams and to Lincoln North Star, back-to-back state championships. Girls Class B, Larry, or Class A, excuse me.
You got it. Thanks.
On we go.
All right.
Back to you, my friend.
Thanks very much, Steve. Steve Simpek, terrific job interviewing the athletes all morning long. And congratulations once again to Brittany Kirchhoff and Bob Corum, along with his wife, Vicki, the head coaches of the North Star Navigators. And now for the trophy presentation, the runner-up Spartans will go to our public address announcer, Greg Porchi.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more round of applause for our 2 finalists? And now for the awards presentation, your Class A girls runner-up, the Lincoln East Spartans. Coached by Brad Jacobowski and assisted by Molly Gardner. McKenna Sheldon. Mackenzie London. Riley Good. Sam Cosda. Sarah Clark. Shelby Clark. And Skylar Halverson. And ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the Lincoln East Spartans, your Class A girls runner-up. Now here's your 2011-2012 Class A girls champions, the Lincoln North Star Navigators. Coached by Bob Corum and assisted by Vicky Corum. Brittany Kirchhoff. Brittany Hall. Emily Weirs. Haley Hall. Kendra Porter. And Stephanie Mundorf. And ladies, here's your championship trophy. Congratulations to the 2011-2012 Class A Girls Champions.
So congratulations once again to North Star, the Navigators, for the second time in a row, state champs in Class A. Hey, what a terrific morning we've had with state championships in girls play. Dodge early this morning came back from 2 games to none down. They won it 3-2. Then in Class C, a terrific performance by Wayne, which won in 5. So we had a couple of 5, and then finally in Class B, Pius 10th sweeps Waverly and avoids that 5-game stretch all day. But 3 of the 4 matches we had today, Steve, went 5.
Great bowling, great comebacks. Tremendous shot making, comes down to a couple of clutch strikes and spares. This Class A Finals was one of the best I've seen, Larry, in the 9 years we've done this on
Absolutely.
NET.
Well, congratulations to all the champs. So once again, the North Star Navigators, the Pius 10th Thunderbolts, the Wayne Blue Devils, and Dodge, the state champs in D. That will put a wrap for the Girls State Championships. I'm Larry Putney for Steve Simpek and the entire NET Sports production crew. Thanks so much for joining us here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska for the Girls Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships. We'll see you next year.